you were working already in America, and previously you had businesses and all that, but why all of a sudden you decided to move to Ireland?
I would say people seem overall nicer in Ireland. I feel like there's a lot of, I help myself and not so much a sense of community in the US. In Ireland, I feel like when somebody says to you, oh, if you need help with this, they really mean it, outside of work. And I feel like they're nicer in general. Then, with like being a nurse, I haven't encountered that many aggressive patients.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are already a subscriber, hello again and thank you for being here. If you are new to this channel, my name is BUHAY Ventura and I am a registered nurse, and I create content about living in Ireland and working as a nurse. And for today's video, we are going to talk to Hector, who came from America and moved to Ireland a few years ago to study nursing and now working as an ICU nurse in the beautiful Emerald Isle. Join me and Hector as we tackle his take on the advantages and disadvantages of living in the Republic of Ireland.
I'm Hector. I grew up in the US. I was born in Mexico, and we moved to California when I had just turned 4. I grew up in a relatively small town called Yuba City, just north of Sacramento. I went to college in Berkeley. I studied microbial biology, and then I had a mishmash of careers, everything from a call center to owning our own businesses. And then we moved to Portland, Oregon, where I worked for a power company, and I ended up working in their marketing and communications department. I think growing up, I did always feel a bit of an other, and it wasn't just the Mexican and American part. I think also being a gay person, I always felt like, oh, that's another layer of me being an other person. So, I mean, I had a decent upbringing, I had a decent life. Yeah, so I'd already finished college, and then we started doing the businesses, yeah.
Okay.
So I had my degree in microbial biology, but I ended up only working for a lab.
That was your first degree?
Microbiologist, yeah. Yeah.
You were working already in America, and previously you had businesses and all that, but why all of a sudden you decided to move to Ireland?
Yeah, I think when we moved to Oregon initially, I had already wanted to do nursing, but then I started working for the company, and then my career started going up, and I was like, yeah, this isn't the time to give up a good career, especially with the bad economy. It's not a time to give up a career and go and do school yet again. So I put that on the back burner. When we moved to Ireland, I obviously had to give up my job anyways. And so it was like, okay, well, I have a clean piece of paper. I can write the same story or continue the same story that I already started, or I can just start a completely new story. And I think also as we age, which you'll get there, yeah. I think we start looking for meaning, and we start looking for not just doing a job for, yeah, money's important, but I think we also start looking for, like, is this significant? Is this something that I'm going to be proud of in 40 years? Is this something that I'm going to look back and say, I'm really proud that I did this?
So you didn't find a deep meaning in what you were doing?
It was fun.
Was it?
I liked it. I appreciated every opportunity that I had with the company. I loved the people that I was working with. I wasn't sure that I could say that it was meaningful, or that I would be
making a difference to the world.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or even to individuals. We are part of the greater group, the extended group of keeping electricity on. But I wasn't sure that I was feeling that fulfillment, and I thought that I would find that in nursing, and that was the appeal. So then, when we moved here, I decided to enroll in nursing school. There were a lot of sleepless nights for sure, because even though I said, yes, this is what I want to do this, there was still a little bit in my head. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. What if I'm not good? What if this? What if that? What if it's? What if I encounter this situation? It's raining. I know. It's Ireland. It's raining.
Do you want to pack up?
It's up to you. I'm fine with whatever you want to do.
A lot of sleepless nights and all that.
Yeah, changing careers, and then also the pay. I mean, so I went from having a very decent job, very decent income, to having no income as a student, and then working in placement, which is, yeah, one thing that really helped us is that when we sold our place, it was a condo, yeah, or apartment as you call them here. So we had a condo in the U.S. When we sold it, we had some money to work with from selling the condo. So we were able to live here. But we picked Ireland and not somewhere sunny, in part because of Robert. And yes, I'm saying that straight to your face, Robert. Initially, you know, the thoughts were anywhere like, oh, let's go somewhere sunny, Spain, Italy, all that. But then it's like, well, then we have a language barrier, or potential language barrier. I think Robert, my husband, was a little more concerned about that than I was.
Okay.
So then, you know, we kind of said, okay, well, let's go with English-speaking countries. The UK was already rumbling about Brexit, and we were like, okay, maybe Malta. Socks. We were like, maybe Malta, but it's really small. And then that kind of left Ireland.
At the end of it all pointed you to Ireland.
Yeah, everything pointed to Ireland, as this is maybe the place we should go. And actually, moving here as an American was actually really easy. As an American, we're in a privileged position that you don't have to do your immigration stuff until after you move here. So really? Yeah, we're part of the visa waiver countries. So we had to fill out absolutely nothing before we flew in. We got to the airport and they're like, why are you here? And we're like, oh, we're gonna live here. And they're like, oh, cool. And then they stamp your passport with something that says like 3 months to register at the Garda station or something like that. And then within those 3 months, you have to go and you have to show things like your marriage certificate, birth certificate, all that stuff. What
were your first impressions? Like, how did you find Ireland when you first came?
Well, we had been tourists here before a couple times before we moved. A few things that I liked about Ireland is it seems more relaxed than the U.S. I liked the old stone buildings. I love the scenery that we get here. I love
the ambiance.
Yeah, I love the natural landscapes that we get. They're absolutely stunning. Yeah. I hate the weather.
Except for the weather.
The weather just sucks. Like the weather just sucks. No, it doesn't give. You know, one of the things that impressed me initially about, and then I saw the difference between Ireland and the U.S. When I went to the gym, I noticed people would like set their backpacks down. They'd put their phones on top of their backpacks, and I'm like, you're just doing that? You're not worried? You know, I'm like, and it's not like they were keeping a close eye. They just set it down and they go off to another room. And I was like, how are you not paranoid? Like, you know, I was like, okay, this is a change. You know, they're not paranoid about theft or whatever. And I'm like, you wouldn't do that in California.
Some places, I think like in the big cities, like in Dublin.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because I left my wallet in the gym, in the treadmill, and I forgot about it. I went home, and then when I noticed it, I went back to the gym. It was still in the treadmill.
Oh, so
nothing was lost.
Yeah. There seems to be a better work-life balance. I mean, for nursing, it's, you know, our schedules are chaotic and random. But like for regular office workers, I definitely noticed that they have a much better work-life balance. So like one of the things that annoyed me, but I actually appreciate it after the fact, is like the real estate agents, they don't really work on the weekends. I'm like, really? Like they don't answer emails after 6? I'm like, what? What is this? Like, moving to Ireland wasn't just about finding fulfillment. It was one part adventure, so there's a lot of illogic in it. It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make any financial sense. You know, like our pay is way less here. The other thing though is, with the money that I was earning in the U.S., I did have to think about, okay, if I stop working, like we couldn't afford this life. Like we would have to sell our apartment. We'd have to dramatically change things. And then even more fearful is if one of us gets sick, I'd have to stop working. We'd have to sell our apartment. The medical expenses would drain all of our savings, drain any appreciation that we got in the house or the condo. And you know, it's like, it's not unrealistic for a working person to get injured in the US, drain their savings, drain all their assets, and then be homeless. Like, that's not unrealistic.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. That happens to so many people. Living in Europe, maybe it's a little more appealing.
Okay.
We are earning a lot less, but
the quality of life.
yeah.
And our parking is expired already.
Oh fuck. We should
It's still there anyway, huh?
We should pay for parking now. They're really strict.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Just give me the key. I won't take your car.
I'll take it.
So we don't have to go there together.
Okay.
I mean,
you know, it's hard to generalize 300 million people and generalize almost 6 million people in Ireland, but if I had to generalize, I would say people seem overall nicer in Ireland. I feel like there's a lot of, you know, I help myself and not so much a sense of community in the US. In Ireland, when you go to a shop, they're not that friendly. They're just kind of like, what size shoe do you want? Oh, well, do you have a 9 here? Oh, okay. You know, they don't have that like over the top insane customer service. But I feel like when somebody says to you, if you need help with this, they really mean it, you know,
okay.
outside of work. And I feel like they're nicer in general. Like even, you know, with like being a nurse, I haven't encountered that many aggressive patients. Like,
oh yes,
like,
definitely.
like
I can agree to that.
Yeah, like you know, my sister-in-law is a nurse, and some of the stories I hear, I'm like, I don't think we would have, if we had a patient like that, we would hear about it for months and months, and everybody would be talking about it. Like, so yeah, in general, I think more relaxed, kind of nicer. We first came to Ireland, I thought it would be like the US, where you go, you look at a place, you make an offer, you transfer money, and you have the keys in 30 days, and you're done. I thought it would be easier if we buy a house, and then that way we all fly together, and we don't have to keep moving around. The day after I landed, I looked at a place, I made an all-cash offer, more than the asking price, and the agent didn't respond to me for a week, and I was like, what? Like, why would you not respond to, like, is that a yes or no? Renting, even in 2017, was really hard. Places would get advertised and they don't respond. I'd go to viewing or open house, and there's like 30 people, and I'm like, oh my God. And there are, generalizing for our price bracket, the quality of housing in Ireland is not the same as the US. Like there's a lot that's like, what? Like like bathrooms. I'm like, really? This is the bathroom? Maybe it's because we were at the very end of the very bottom of the housing situation, but in general, no. In general, quality of housing in Ireland is poorer than in the US, and it's pricey, and it's hard to get even a rental. The way I ended up getting the rental that we got the first year, we rented for the first year. I actually offered to pay a full year's rent in advance. I'm like, I'll pay a full year's rent in advance, like if that's what it takes to get this place. And I think he allowed me to make monthly payments, but I think because he saw that I was willing to do that, he gave it to us instead of to the other 35 or 40 people. And, you know, spent a whole year looking for a place to buy. Like I've said before, there's no perfect place. There's a lot of things that one place will do a lot better than the other. There's a lot of things that can be improved because there's so many factors to consider. Not everybody is suitable to live in Ireland. Not everybody's going to enjoy life here, and not everybody's going to enjoy life in the U.S. either. Like it just
Really
depends.
depends, yeah.
One of the things that I really liked about nursing, the sense of like, okay, you're growing skills, you're becoming a more competent person, and I liked the environment where I am now. And
Yes.
I think the Nurse of the Year award isn't about being the best. The Nurse of the Year award is about my employer recognizing that I have potential, I gave my effort, I was available when they needed to be available. There are challenging days, as you know. There are days where it's exhausting. There are days where you really...
days where you don't know how how you finish the day.
Yeah, there are those days, absolutely. But within that chaos, I have found a sense of purpose. It's not so much about how much money do I get paid, but I'm doing it because it's something I wanted to do, I can do, and you're literally helping someone all day. Like, so
It's a nice thing.
It's a nice thing, yeah.
So I want to thank you for allowing us to interview and for sharing your story.
Thank you.
To a lot of people, like thousands of people out there who's going to watch this video. And I hope you, because I learned a lot from all your experiences, and I hope you continue being the enthusiastic nurse that you are.
Oh, thank you.
Right
I hope
now.
I get to be as knowledgeable as you. Like you know your drugs and your stuff, and I'm always like, is this right? So I like working with you.
Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and this video interview with Hector Belmonte. And if you guys found value in this vlog, please consider